gentlemen, welcome to the Aspire Sports Show. I'm Tyler, and I'm going to be talking about Week 8 waiver wire ads. So if you like this content, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. We would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to talk about quarterbacks here. First person is going to be Tua. Tua, in my opinion, isn't that great of a play this week, but I do think, honestly, he has league-winning potential. I think he has league-winning potential in the sense that his rushing ability is going to be, that's a priority in fantasy with quarterbacks. They could have a massive ceiling. So me personally, he is my top ad this week just because of that reason. If you're kind of like a Cam owner, maybe you're kind of hurting at some other quarterbacks that have kind of been underwhelming this year. Jared Goff, maybe you went late on a quarterback. So me personally, I think Tua is somebody who could be a league winner just because of his upside with his rushing ability. So next person, this is my true streaming quarterback here, and that's going to be Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater is probably my favorite streaming quarterback for the week. It's Atlanta. And listen to these stats, right? I've talked about these stats in the past. Atlanta right now, worst pass defense in the NFL, giving up the most yards, the most touchdowns at 21, second highest passer rating, third highest completion percentage, right? They're just giving up crazy stats right now. So me personally, Teddy Bridgewater 100% has great options as well. Next person here is going to be Jimmy G. Jimmy G looked good last week. He gets the second worst passing defense in Seattle, and they've been on a bye already this season. So they are pretty bad here, giving up nearly just as bad as Atlanta is, passing-wise, passing yardage-wise, giving up a bunch of touchdowns too. So Jimmy G, I think, is a good streaming option this week. And last person is Baker Mayfield. I've said it. I said it on the show the other day. Odell's injury is pretty unfortunate, and obviously losing a player like Odell is never good. But I do think Baker looked his best without Odell, honestly. I think that this kind of takes pressure off of him to get the ball to Odell. I feel like at times he feels the need to just because Odell's a prima donna. This is just my belief, my personal belief. I'm creating a narrative. This is my personal narrative that I'm creating. I just think that, yes, it is an unfortunate loss, but I think they can survive without him, and I think he's going to be more efficient without him. That's just my personal opinion against the Raiders. Raiders haven't been that good this year against the pass, so yes, I like the Raiders. They're one of the worst in terms of rushing the quarterback, bottom 5 in pressure rate and sack conversion, so yes, I'd fire up Baker if you need to. Let's go ahead into the running backs here. The first one is going to be Gus Edwards. Now, this all depends on, a lot of these depend on injuries. So, Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram doesn't go. I think he's going to be the guy. Yes, J.K. Dobbins is also an ad for me. Right now, Gus Edwards is only owned in 11% of leagues, where J.K. Dobbins 55%. But if somebody dropped J.K. Dobbins in your league, I'd go pick him up, because what if Gus Edwards gets hurt? This is finally the chance for J.K. Dobbins. So, me personally, it's not a good matchup, but he's going to see a workload. They're going to want to run the ball in Pittsburgh because they just like to run the ball on everybody. But they're going to try to enforce the run, and this is going to be the main beneficiary of it all with Gus Edwards. So good ad this week. Next person, JaMychael Hasty. Okay, I don't know about this one because now you have Shanahan coming out and saying, we just wanted McKinnon to get a little rest. Well, it would have been nice to know that. For us fantasy owners, for us bettors who, yes, I know people are like, oh, you do this. No, we, count for, I feel like not a large portion of the money, but a decent portion of the money pumped into the NFL or the betting side of it. So, yes, we would have liked to know that, Shanahan. Just tell us, hey, I think he's not going to be as involved this game because we want him to get a little bit of rest. Now, is this just coach talk? I have no idea. Maybe JaMychael Hasty comes out here and he is the guy. So, me personally, I would want to own him just in case he is the guy going forward, because you're going to have two guys on IR now, and he would be the person to play for the next few weeks. So 100% add him. Next person would be DeeJay Dallas, because now you have, I guess, Carlos Hyde is hurt. Yes, we already know Chris Carson out for a few weeks. And then you have Travis Homer. Homer is hurt as well. So all the backs are now hurt. So it leaves DeeJay Dallas. They did draft him this year. I forget what round it was. I'm not sure when they drafted him. I can't remember what round exactly, but it was pretty high. So maybe they have hopes of him possibly taking over, and maybe this is the chance for him to prove it. So I would add DeeJay Dallas this week. Next person would be, I kind of talked about him, JaMycal Perine. They play Kansas City. He's now, Gay said he wants to get him more involved. He's got him more involved. Kansas City, they should be playing from behind as a preferred back out of the backfield. Not great, but could be worse. Okay, so I think he's a decent ad. Will be good for like around 10, 13 touches. So next person would be Wayne Gallman, also kind of in the same boat. Not a good matchup, a really bad matchup against Tampa Bay. But um, Devontae Freeman did not practice today, so there's that. He could possibly be the back in the backfield, look good out of the backfield, passes or catches out of the backfield, and I would imagine they're going to be playing from behind. So me personally, he's a decent ad. If you're desperate, you need somebody to play this week. It could get worse. So this is the other back, and then let's go into the wide receivers. For me, this is also one of the top ads of the week. We don't know how long Deebo Samuel is going to be out. They said could miss a couple of weeks. Brandon Aiyuk has been like that Deebo role where he's running the ball creative ways. They're getting the ball in space in creative ways. So he's also just looked really good. I mean, last week against the Pats, put up 615 yards. So yes, I think this is the guy. This is one of the top ads of the week because he could have just potential going forward even after Deebo comes back. Because it's a good offense that just, Kyle Shanahan is just so smart creatively. Like gets his players in good positions. So yes, Brandon Aiyuk. Next person here would be a must-add for me as well, Sterling Shepard. Me personally, I think he's the best wide receiver in that offense. Came back after 4 weeks, I believe he was out. Comes up 6 receptions, 59 yards, and a touchdown. So me personally, I love Sterling Shepard. The only problem is he can never stay on the field. So hopefully you get a good few games out of him before he's hurt again. But I think he's, in my opinion, one of the top ads if you need some wide receiver help. Next one, and I keep talking about him, Tim Patrick. Love Tim Patrick. Love Tim Patrick. He's a stud. I'm going to say it. He's a stud. I mean, look at these games here. Yes, last week wasn't that great, but they're also playing in snow, and that's the first snow game of the year. It's a bit. I'm giving him a pass. Okay, I'm trying to give him a pass, but it really it's not. That's not that bad of stats. Had a touchdown, would have saved his day a bit. But me personally, going forward, I think he's the guy, the number one option in this. I'd say 1A, 1B, next to Noah Fant. But yes, he's above Jerry Jeudy. He's above Jerry Jeudy. This is the guy. So next person I'm going to talk about is Rashard Higgins because you have Odell going on IR. Like I kind of talked about, not Odell. Baker was at his best without Odell, in my opinion. So me personally, I think this is going to be. I don't want to say the guy that Baker relies on because I think it's going to be Jarvis, but this is somebody who's going to be involved in this offense. I mean, you saw it last week. Yes, it was Cincinnati, but six receptions for 110 yards. So me personally, he is a add this week if you need some wide receiver help as well. And like I said, they play the Raiders, and I think this is a good matchup. So yes, I think he's a decent play this week, like a flex play. Next person. I talked about this in the show the other day. Corey Davis. Why Corey Davis? I mean, he saw 10 targets last week against Pittsburgh, had 6 receptions. Yes, the yardage wasn't good, but this week plays Cincinnati. Cincinnati has given up. Their defense is just pretty friendly in general. Now, I don't know if William Jackson is going to miss this game again, but if he does, regardless, because I don't think he's been a true shadow corner. But they still have A.J. Brown. He's like the second option, third option possibly behind Jonnu Smith. But this is a secondary that they're going to be going up that's pretty friendly to wide receivers. So, yes, I do think he's a decent start this week if you're, need some wide receiver help. A little bit desperate, but I think you could get worse. So, yes, I think he's an add this week. And the last one here that I'm going to talk from the wide receiver position is Nelson Agholor, who Nelson Agholor has actually is averaging his past 3 games, hasn't been past 3 weeks because they've had a bye. Past 3 games is averaging 72 yards and a touchdown. 72 yards and a touchdown is good fantasy production. He's averaging that. Gets Cleveland, who Cleveland's not the best, like the secondary isn't the best. So me personally, I think he's a good add this week if you need some help too. Me personally, season long, I don't think it's going to be that great. I think he's going to kind of, because he's not seeing the targets. Like he's catching some balls like at a high catch rate, which sure can go forward, can continue, but he's not seeing a bunch of targets, so it's going to go down a little bit. Obviously, his usage has been decent, but his efficiency has been really high. So me personally, I think it's going to go down a little bit, but still a good ad if you need some help. And the last one I'm going to talk about, I don't believe that they have a game this week. I think they're on bye, but this is somebody that I would keep an eye on because I was big on him in the beginning of the year. It just wasn't happening. He was on the field all the time, and he was running he's running routes out of the slot as well. So he's all over the field. It just wasn't happening. But the past 2 weeks has been. Yes, this is good. Fantasy tight end production. Tight end is, if you don't have like those couple of studs, it's just kind of hit or miss. So me personally, this is good. I would definitely take that if I'm somebody who has like Hayden Hurst. I guess he's kind of come on the past couple of weeks, but Tyler Higbee. So this is somebody that I would add in hopes to replace Higbee. So with that being said, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. We'd really appreciate it. And let's go out and win this week, huh? So thank you for watching and have a great day.